Boss Talk Podcast by Jboss Entertainment.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Jboss Podcast called Boss Talk. I am your host, Decon Dunham,
Jboss.
here with the CEO, Jboss.
So it's good tonight. We're going to get on some topics that's going on in hip hop and different topics like was it?
It's a lot of topics going on in hip hop right now, man. Right now, Kendrick Lamar and SZA's going through a little thing over the song they got called Luther because you know, they market shares dropped, so I guess they snatched it, man, and that's one of the topics that's going on in hip hop. It's very unfortunate, you know what I'm saying, that these streams and these things are declining like that. You know what I'm saying? In the mission to keep hip hop fresh and to keep things, you know what I mean, going and thriving. You got to try to have that authenticity about yourself, man. That's what a lot of people are. And I'm not speaking on SZA and Kendrick. You know that unfortunately they're great artists. You know what I'm saying? They're talented. You know, Kendrick. I think he's doing his 1-2 out here right now with everything he got going. You know, SZA's on fire. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, the market, man, the market could drive a hard bargain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's talk about that Diddy. What do you hear about that Diddy?
Oh yeah, right now with Diddy, they just got some photos of Diddy online just going viral, man. Me personally, I think it's artificial intelligence. I would say probably maybe one or two of them is giving some authenticity, but I think the rest of them, they got like dudes behind them, bear hugging them, and like all this craziness, man. So I don't think that's accurate, man. But you know, there's talks about Diddy even possibly getting a pardon from President Trump or whatever the case may be. We don't know where that stands. But yeah, moving right along with in other news with artists that incarceration and dealing with artists in incarceration, Tory Lanez, man.
Yeah,
Him and the Megan Thee Stallion, the shooting case. I'm sure you're familiar with that. Um, man, so Tory's team had an appeal in. They was petitioning to get his appeal approved and set, and unfortunately, man, yeah, he was denied. So Tory gonna be spending the remainder of his time incarcerated until he's released. You know what I'm saying? After he completes out his remainder of his time. So that's an unfortunate situation, man. Tory Lanez is a talented kid. When it comes to that whole ordeal, you know what I'm saying? Um, I just try to say, man, like, just think before you get out here and you crash out, man. You got a lot of talented artists that just, man, they throw their careers away, over, what I'm saying, over things that could have been prevented and things like that. So just try to tread lightly out here. You know what I'm saying, man? This ain't about, we trying to set an example out here for the youth, first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just be more mindful about how y'all stepping out here, man.
yeah. Decisions we make in life, it's gonna cause us for the rest of our life.
That's right.
Sometimes you end up like in situations like us, 50 years old before you get things right. And you don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
You want to enjoy life and give back to the community the best you can. I ain't saying to be a you know like we love the streets, but it's time to teach another way. Sometimes we feel like that's the only option, or we just want to do it that way because we knuckleheads.
Yeah, yeah. Some people get accustomed to certain patterns or things they're comfortable with, and they just run with it. You know what I'm saying? Because they comfortable, they used to the easy way. You know what I'm saying? So you know, um, in more hip hop news, man. I've been hearing about this Drake situation, man, and they saying it's a lawsuit right now over
AI bots.
AI bots, and they saying that views are inclining due to bots. I don't know. I don't want to put that personally on Drake. It could be somebody from his marketing promo team, whatever the case. I don't know. I don't know what goes on. You know what I'm saying? I don't got the keys to those doors. You understand? But we just know that it's been confirmed that, man.
Something's going on.
Yeah, they manipulating. They
Someone is.
manipulating the market, man. So you know what I mean. Whatever y'all doing over there at Drake's team, get
It
that.
could be a crazy fan.
Yeah, something. Get it right.
Drake, you might have a crazy fan
Doing
trying to screw you up.
Doing some.
Or make
Yeah.
get back at Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Make you look better.
Doing something, man. I don't know. Something could be going on, but we just try to we don't want to down talk anybody, any teams, and anything like that. We just giving the news and the topics of what's going on out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things that's circulating and keeping y'all fresh with these current events and things like that. So
Yeah. On that note, though, I'm off subject a little bit. That beat rap beefs. I like rap beats as long as it keeps it as rap beefs. It helps. The game. You like the competition. I mean, you can do what 50 Cent did in Ja Rule, but that's part of the game.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest, but competition, and I kind of enjoy that. I don't say sabotage anybody, but you want to make some dope diss. I live for disses, even against the people I love. I like to listen to what they have to say
Yeah.
because sometimes they right, even though that's my people.
And sometimes it could also be a friendly competition, you know what I'm saying? I know people that pretty much get along that they don't really got no real issues and they be having friendly competitions and battles and things of that nature. So, like for instance with Goods and J Mills and what they got going on right now. And also to piggyback off that, shout out to Ron Browz, you know what I'm saying? You know, event was successful. It was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them and all that. He was actually the producer behind the new J Mills record, Going at Goods, man. And yeah, man, the record is decent, man. And Goods got some decent stuff as well going out. But that's just to piggyback off the friendly competition. I don't know where they stand now, Some personal blows was probably thrown, you know what I'm saying? There might be some issues going on now, but I know them dudes are pretty much locked in with each other, you know what I'm saying? To the point. So
It was back on that subject. We experienced a good night last night. Ron Browz performed at the Delta Hotel in Utica, and shout out to Delta Hotel. Dope.
shout out to Delta.
If you ever do that, go there. Make sure you get your tickets way in advance because then otherwise you don't get no seats. But besides that, it was pretty dope. It was a nice atmosphere. Next to no violence.
Nice
just a little bit.
Nice
But
big crowd, everybody mingling and networking, man.
it was adult kind of like grown, and a lot of people dressed nice. Of course we went in there like fly, but they showed Jboss and ET mad love. Cuban Link was there, showed him mad love, and it was a good time. And it was enjoying it. It was better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
And Ron Browz killed it. Performed all his classics and had the music popping, and yeah, it was pretty dope.
Yeah, it definitely was fire. And shout out to Rob Browns, man, because I've been seeing him all over the place lately. You know what I'm saying? So he doing his big one. He out here stepping as he should. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really something that's gonna be short lived as far as rap beef here right now. You know they've been saying T Pain and DJ Khaled been going through a little feud. Something based on some disloyalty. I don't know where their personal relationship stands, man, but I hope for their sake, man, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Going back and forth on the internet when you look at somebody like a friend, man, when you could have just gave a phone call or something like that, it comes off a little, you know what I'm saying? A little nasty. So, you know what I'm saying? Try to just have more better communication with your friends or your associates or whatever you calling people these days. You know what I'm saying? Definitely make time for better communication, man, between the people that you involve in your circle, man.
That's fact. At the end of the day, like we were talking the other day, like we all grown, and a lot of people claim to be from a certain place, a certain life. Not, they talk too much, you know. Like I said, it gives us something to talk about, but really, we shouldn't even be hearing about half this stuff. To be honest with you, I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
For real, because when you in business, a lot of times, and you know you want to tie your camel these days because sometimes saying less is more. You know what I mean? Like it ain't always about throwing all your ideas and everything in the atmosphere all the time. Sometimes you got people, unfortunately, that are waiting for you to, spew your ideas out there so they could try to sabotage you and things of that nature. So just be
Which we
mindful,
know
man.
personally that happens.
Yes, that's a fact.
One thing is, some people do need to speak up and tell the truth.
Yeah.
Mention no names, but it happens.
And that goes along with I don't know if y'all are familiar with gangstalking, but that goes along with gangstalking as well. Because for the longest time I wasn't privy to the information of what gangstalking is until I started doing some digging and some homework on it, and I'm like, whoa, this is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna speak on the entities that's involved at this current point in time, but if you do your own research on it, you'll come to find out that it's actually a real thing that's happening, and we trying to bring some awareness to it because it's crazy out here, y'all. So just do y'all research. Stay in y'all books. If y'all got whatever audio book or whatever kind of things, they got the new thing that reads the book for you. So there's really no excuses on being educated these days. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to get educated and get with it.
Oh, and that's the point. Something that's kind of sad, I guess, right? Kim Kardashian with her, incognity or.
Oh yeah, Kim Kardashian, man. She got low brain activity, man, in her frontal lobe. They come to discover. You know, I don't really know how accurate, you know what I'm saying? But this is something that's being spread around like wildfire right now. So our prayers go out to Kim Kardashian and her family, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully she recovers from whatever she's going through. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't wish that kind of stuff on nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to her and you know what I mean. Hopefully she recovers good or gets the help that she needs. Or, you know, 'cause that's a hard bargain right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And before I forget, while we on topic, Fashion Nova is doing something big right now. So rush to your Fashion Nova sites wherever you gotta go to get your your Fashion Nova stuff because Fashion Nova is giving
some sort of
$1,000
$1,000,
to the next 250 customers. $1,000, y'all. So definitely lock in and like.
So you gotta spend 250.
Nah, it's the next.
Oh, so the next 250.
It's the next 250 people.
How much you guys spend? It don't matter. It just
I,
says show up.
Yeah. That's how they coming.
You go at the register and check out, and they give you the money. So yeah, I guess you got to buy something.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I would assume they ain't gonna just give it away for.
You ain't gonna buy a trinket and walk away with $1,000. So we know that. You know what I
You
mean?
get a pack of gum.
We know as much as that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna buy a trinket and walk away with $1,000, but apparently you got to get in there and spend some money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you know how it go.
So
But
yeah, we still got a lot of content on our YouTube and our Instagram. Check that out, Jboss Ent on every platform. And honestly, we getting crazy numbers. It's dope. So Letter to Pun 2 is still rising up slowly. You know, we got 270 something thousand views on that.
heavy circulation right now, man. Y'all make sure y'all go check out that Letter to Pun too. Definitely go tap in and get familiar, man, with the sounds and the structure and the visuals, man.
Yeah, I was mentioning something else. I can say what they said, but on our Instagram, Fat Joe chimed in. He said something FYI. I don't remember exactly what he said. Any of you guys want to check it out? It's on Jboss Ent Instagram. It's on one of the um, interviews podcast from I Am a Artist, Not a Salesman. Check it out. It's the first comment. I don't remember what video it is on my Instagram, but
shout out to them guys over there. I am an artist, not a salesman, man.
Yeah, they
See
dope.
what y'all doing, man. Big
they
work.
failing. Also, shout out to the Hoods to Hopers podcast, and they've been big supporters of us, and we're supporters of them. So they family, they feel what we doing, and we feel what they doing, and you know, we love hip hop. They love hip hop, you know, and we love the art, you know, and we love all sorts of genres of music. You know, you can love hip hop and other stuff. So I didn't think you could, but I started listening to country a little bit. And, you know, some of I even get back to the old Ray Charles and Johnny Cash, dope music.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what Jboss Ent is about. You know, we want to like we always talk about, and you know, you new listeners, and we want to have a platform for people in the future after we get Cuban Link back where he's supposed to be. We'll be having a lot more projects coming up and working with other artists and trying to give them a platform to succeed. And for us to succeed also, find some gifted, talented young men and women. And, you know, anything to say about that?
Yeah, man. We definitely looking for the young interns. You know, come put your applications in, man. Jboss Ent is definitely looking for the young interns to contribute to the company and, you know, bring this thing where we need it. You know what I'm saying? We structuring this whole thing right now. You know, we would love for y'all to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Bringing ample opportunity to the table for others to be able to, you know, rise up and, you know, fluctuate, man.
Yeah, man. Like another thing is we have like a great situation here. We got all sorts of genres, like levels of hip hop, new, old. I'm particularly in old. I'm trying to get into the new. It's hard for me, but I respect lyrics and talent. Even if I don't care for the type of music, I can respect and see the talent. You know, um, and also we got a special treat in the future. We got a drum set in here. We're gonna start doing some drumming over beats, and it's gonna be dope. And we're gonna start our podcast out with that, and hope the listeners like that. I think it'll be a treat. I think everybody likes some drums.
Yeah.
We got a professional drummer. We got a beautiful drum set up here in the studio. Got still got a lot of work to do with this building, but I'd say we're about 70% there, and a lot more to come. Honestly, what was it we were talking about? There's a decline in hip hop, you know, looking at it's not really gonna be on the billboards, it's not touching the billboards like it should.
Yeah, man. It's a big decline in hip hop right now, man. You know what I'm saying? We not Charting is not charting. You know what I'm saying? And that comes from I don't know. I don't got the answer for really where it comes from. To be honest, like you know what I'm saying. And I'm not gonna prejudge because I'm not one of the people that through my artistry made it there. You know what I'm saying? But like it's like when you're in that you know position to be able to chart and hit those accolades and things like that when you can and when your fan base is not fully supporting you, man, it's a it's a hardship, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy because it's like growing up, you know, that's how artists made their living when we was growing up. You know what
They
I'm
actually
saying?
sold records.
Yeah, and you had to be outside. People were selling CDs out the trunk. You feel me? But that's how a lot of people was getting their big breaks and being able to rub shoulders with the higher ups and things like that to be able to get their shots. You know, it. When the labels, a lot of times these artists are looking for the labels to, basically put them in the position. You gotta put they're just the platform. You gotta put yourself. You gotta work like it's going out of style out here, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something for me to say to the people because that's what I would do.
Your work ethic has to change. That's for sure. Since I got into this and we barely getting started 7 days a week, honestly, there's not much time for anything else when you're building a beautiful thing here, to provide for the fans and the people and try to make hip hop what it should be. And that's what our goal is to help hip hop. I think that we've gotten away from what we consider hip hop. We let other things in here into the music game that you know ain't quite hip hop in my opinion, but it's just my own opinion. We always talk about like if Big Pun was still here, Biggie Smalls was still here, you know, Tupac. This wouldn't be happening right now, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They wouldn't let it happen.
honestly, because and it takes a lot to keep up with, like in the era of if we would still have Pac around, like what it would take to keep up with an artist that was as driven as him. And I'm not saying, hey, he would be a little up there in age, but this is not a young man's game anymore. At one point, it was a young man's game. Right now, it's fair game. You know what I'm saying? You got guys 45, 50.
Shoot, they're all old, all adult
They
MCs.
still on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Pause. So, you can't
And
you can't look at it like that no
Snoop,
more. You know what I'm
E40,
saying? Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a
all
lot.
in their 50s.
It's a
Too
lot
short.
of
I see him do stuff, like
Yes,
that.
Method Man. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of vets out here, man, stepping.
Yeah.
You know
Red
what I'm
Man,
saying? Yeah, they stepping. They spinning,
Jersey.
man.
Yeah.
Shout out Brick City, man.
And
Word
Brick
up.
City. Well, I've been old school hip hop for a long time. There's a lot of new old school hip hop artists out there that's in the billboards. A white dude, Tom McDonald, he does country and rap. Um, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but he a billboard artist.
Shout out to Tom
Adam Calhoun, the white country rap, out there, like they dope. They on the billboards. The new ones like, geez, I don't even know half their names. Like I've heard a lot of music. You know,
Yo,
It's not to keep up.
today I just checked out Prof, and
Yeah,
let me
Prof
tell
is
you,
dope.
man, yo,
Prof,
I-
hello, Prof.
I was kind
Yeah,
of
shout
blown
out
away,
Prof.
man. Like, yo, Prof,
Heard some of his stuff.
he's strong with it, man. He's strong with it right now.
you got
So,
a track with Redman.
um, I would have to say, his unique sound, man. Like he got a unique sound to him, man. It's not nothing like you used to hearing. It sounds like he's not afraid to step outside the box. Like it's a lot I like about him, and I'ma definitely stay in tune with him and start brushing up on his music.
All right.
So another
So
question.
shout out to Giggles for that, man, for putting us on props.
Yeah, shout out Giggles. He's our drummer, amongst other things. Wears a couple of hats here: construction, paint, and tech.
Doing this
Yeah.
thing.
Does
Over
everything.
here at the
Yeah.
company.
Everybody around me is eating, meaning they're, they're taken care of. You know, that's what bosses do. And then for me to be a provider, naturally, the people around me have to eat. I should say the number one thing is I feel peace with God. Number two, my wife is happy because that's the world to me. Without her, I wouldn't do any of this right now.
I was saying, happy wife, happy life.
And the third one was what I just said, but it goes all together: God, family,
Yeah,
and I don't have friends. I have family
I respect it.
because friends they come and go. I learned that in my life at 50 years old, and family stays together. And they say, my mom old school, they're about to go Christian. You guys like, yo, you pray together, you pray, you stay together. And I believe in that. I believe in God. Even though sometimes my actions don't show that, but we rough around the edges. We've done crazy things in our life. So, I went a little too far on that one, but that's my answer. Professional baseball player.
Okay. Yeah, man.
What position?
RBIs.
Well, I played when I it depends because I was a little bit bigger in certain areas and then a little bit smaller in other areas. So, like I go to the older kids and I'm smaller, and then I was at the higher end. So like I could throw from home plate to second base from my knees a rocket. So when there was kids that didn't have arms and I had an arm, they put me in the outfield. But third base when I got older, semi-pro, I played. So. Yeah, baseball was my dream, but I wanted to break dance. My mom said my mom tried to steer me away from it.
That's the error.
Yo, I couldn't imagine you big as hell, man.
Nah, I wasn't big like this though. I wore parachute pants, I had it all. Yo, I was in competition, bro. I had an Ecuadorian friend, shout out Jorge. Jorge.
Shout out to Jorge, man.
I don't know his last name, he was from Ecuadorian. And I don't even. He was 2 years older than us. He had sent back to school, so he was older. But he looked like our age.
Well,
He was small.
Breakdancing, are you crazy, man? Yeah, I mean,
I'm from that era, though. Me and Cuban are.
Listen,
Sure.
I know you. You know how to break dance.
I used to, but I can't even do a side step. I can't do nothing now. But I tried to dance a little bit ago, like a couple years ago, and I'm like, I forgot. Like I used to house dance in the '90s, like Vanilla Ice shit. Used to do all that.
Yeah, all the poppies, man, used to be in the parks and spinning on their cardboard, spinning on their heads, man. Adidas tracksuits, man. Yeah, I grew up around the whole essence, man. Just watching it, you know what I mean.
That's fire.
Hip hop definitely evolved. I mean, you don't see a lot of guys spinning now. You do, very seldom, but you do. You know what I'm saying? You see people out there. They putting on for the originators and the people back then. They used to do it. You know what I'm saying? They keeping that fresh, but it's evolved to it. It's evolved to a couple of different states. You know what I'm saying? For the better sometimes and for the worse. You know what I mean? But we can all agree that we love hip hop, man, and we gonna keep this thing thriving, man.
Yeah, bro.
What's up, man?
I'm gonna correct a little statement he said. I'm not originally from New York. I'm from Jersey, but I've been around New York. Jersey, yeah. The hip hop scene in Jersey was New York radio station, the New York City radio station when I was a kid. As I got older, we had Trench from Naughty by Nature, Redman. When I was a teenager. I remember there's a few others like Akon, and as the time went on, but I'm sure there's Joe Budden. Not a huge fan, but he's from Jersey, Jersey City. Yeah, like New York City rap. Like I can't remember the radio station. I don't know if you're old enough to know. That's how really I got involved. As I got older though, not growing up, seeing them. There's an underground group called Division East. They're out of Orange. There's a guy named, now he don't remember me, but Daniel Joseph. He's from Newark, and he was signed with High Water Records, and I went to his opening in High. So and I got I was like, man. Then sure enough, Cuban, met him, and I started building teams. Before that, like when I met them, I said I had this dream. I did it all the wrong ways, the kind that gets you in jail. But I made a lot of mistakes, and but I had this like fantasy. I don't know why. I was like wanted to be involved. I know I couldn't do much, but I said, I'm gonna find a spot somewhere. So I found my spot, and I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm gonna do this like, Jaded Styles and Cuban and Pun. Go back and forth like a boomerang. So, it's gonna be smooth. This is gonna be my lane. And this is
And
what
I'm
gonna
telling
do.
y'all now, for his work ethic, y'all glad that he don't rap, cause y'all be in trouble.
That's right. If I could rap, man, I would stop.
His work ethic is crazy. You understand? Like, I ain't just saying that because, we on the same team. I really mean it. Like, from day one, just us just fusing and, putting this thing together, man. He's just been working. Non-stop, constantly, consistently. Like, I'm watching this thing evolve in front of my eyes. I'm watching it.
It hasn't stopped. The energy's still there. It's just sometimes you just and what's in this round of my life with this adventure, and I think Decon can say the same thing. Everything just fell into place, like naturally, without forcing it. And that's how in my life when I had to force things, then it's not meant to be. Like this building for say, and letting go. One thing I had to learn that he taught me is just let things go, and like we have to have these things. And I'm trying to budget because that's what businessmen do. But eventually, you got to make that investment, and that's what Decon put on my plate in Cuban, and telling me he said we need at least 3 TVs in here, monitors. I said, why not just one? Well, I went about 5, because we got to make that investment. And he said you need more than 1 camera, so I bought a second one. Hopefully, I'll begin a third. It's like I'm trying to do things. We got the drummer boy, Giggles, just adding to the team, and it is hard. And I knew this was gonna be hard, but every day I'm watching computer, waiting to get monetized on YouTube. You're watching these numbers. I got my LLC. I'm just out there to make this a legitimate business, and it's not all about the money, but it's about the money so we can survive and we all can live. And my goal is to have everybody, even though they have their own business, their own ventures, I want their biggest venture to be with me. I'm selfish. I believe in myself and I believe in people that are around me. And that's my goal. I'll prove to them that Jboss Ent is the way. And that's how I feel about everything. No, I'm married, but
Married, happily taken.
very, very
Prosperous.
prosperous. We are living. My wife is a spoiled woman, and I'm a spoiled man.
God says the best thing for a man to have is a wife, man.
The wife is the husband. The wife is a man's helper, but really she's more than that. She's behind the scenes. She's the man. Like she whispers in my ears, says things, And I listen. Sometimes she'd be like, I don't want to do something. And she's like, you should listen to Cuban. And I'm mad at him. She's like, and I'm like, damn. I don't want to listen. But she's there. Just maybe real estate a little bit, because you could do that. You could build a crew just like we are here. I could just boss it up and just playing it out and have and it's something I can make money in. But I plan on making enough money in this that anything else is going to be a hobby. This is going to be, I have a vision for this, I don't want to, but I believe this is going to be big. And I don't see why else I would be doing this at 50. And it happened so naturally. And I got a lot of backing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I got a beautiful team and beautiful people I call family. So,
That's right.
and we're not all perfect. I pretty much, I won't pick anybody that has a clean background, not because they don't deserve it, just because they gotta come with something, Like doesn't mean you have to go through some stuff to have what we have, but I think it's necessary being in with me, and that's just my opinion because we're the downtrodden. Like who said that? Johnny Cash, and great. He was way ahead of his time, by the way.
That concludes this episode of Boss Talk with Decon and Jboss. Jboss Ent. Remember, go check for the merch. Go check for the accessories, the memorabilia. You can tap in with Jboss. You can tap in with me. It'll be available for you.
And we signing off, Jboss Ent.
Out.